Hello, my dear students. Today I am going to explain a new lesson that is called Japan and Brazil through a traveler's eye, written by George Mikes. George Mikes says about a country-wise culture. He wanted to show a country-wise cultures. Whatever he has in own country's culture, and suppose if he travel to foreign country, what have their cultures, and that he wanted to aware about his own culture, to look other culture and try to aware about his own culture. That he wanted to say with a humorous. Humorous means comically, just comically that he says that ironically he says like that he explained in this essay. See, there are two topics in that lessons. One is Japan's, traveling about Japan's. What about their culture first? Means about their mannerisms, about their behaviors. The second topic is Brazil's, about their Brazil's rules and regulations about the traffic. These two things. Today I will take first topic, that is Brazil's, about their Japan's, about Japan people's Japanese mannerisms, Japanese mannerism behavior. About that I will today discuss. In next class about the branches. Okay, like that. First, before I start to the prose, I will discuss about the pre-reading activity in 3-4 short, because I am going to complete within a half an hour. That's why. See, in pre-reading activity, do you like traveling? Does it enhance one's mental horizons? Yeah, everyone's like traveling. Everyone likes traveling, and also they improve their knowledge. Enhance one's mental horizon. Enhance means improve. Enhance means what? Improve your that. Enhance means improve. Improve or increase your knowledge. The second point, which of your behavior gestures do you think appear strange to a foreign visitors? Suppose if you wanted to see a strange, if you are visited to the foreign countries and you have to see a strange behavior, then what happens to your life? What appears? What happens to your life? That he wanted to ask them. The third point, do you think living in foreign city, visiting in foreign country makes us aware of our own cultures? So, do you living in foreign country and also traveling in foreign country, and then it makes us aware about our own culture. These are the points will be added in the in Japan mannerisms. Okay. Now, before I start that again, the history of travel writing. The note on travel writing. When it's short, I will tell you. Shorts. Travel writing is about writing one's experience of traveling and visiting aligned places. Aligned means what? Foreign. Aligned means what? Foreign. Alliance. Means travel writing is about writing one's experience of traveling and visiting to foreign places. They are telling the travel writers, the travel writing is about writing one's experience of traveling and visiting to foreign places. Okay. As a genre of writing, it is as old as 2nd century when traveler to Greece recorded their experiences in the form of diary. See, as a genre of writing, it is as old as in 2nd century. Travelers to Greece. Travelers to Greece, and whatever they have traveled to the Greece, and they have written in their diary. Whatever they saw, whatever they look, that it was written in the diary in the beginning, in the 2nd century. See, With the inventions of new techniques of navigations and sea voyages during the 9th and 10th centuries, travel writing became popular as more number of people began to explore new places on the globe. See, then day by day improvings. From from the second century to till 9th and 10th century, they are improving. They are started. They are walking. They are in the second century. They are by walk. They are going to travel to the Greece countries, and then after year by year improving, they started by going to the ship. By ship, the voyage by through the sea route. They are going by ship and looking about the other countries' cultures and to explore about the globe, about the earth cultures. Whatever they saw about the other, that they wanted to explore, began to explore about their places on the globe. Globe means on the earth. That is the point. Soon such trips started getting royal parentage and supports. See, then some people don't have that much money, means they don't have a rich. So at that time they have an interest to go to the travel writing, to do a travel writing. But with the supports of some royal families, to support of from royal family, and they are going to foreign country, foreign visiting, foreign traveling. For example, Swami Vivekananda. See, Swami Vivekananda, how he had gone to America. So means with the supports of some royal families. Likewise, the people at that time, the people are have interested to do a travel to other country, but instead of they don't have money, they submit to some royal family, and with their support, they are going to foreign visiting, foreign traveling. That it was going on. New adventures and voyages were even commissions. For that traveling, for that voyages, for the commissions they are ruled. They are given the commissions. On that commission, they are going to do a travel to the foreign country. See, thus travel writing ceased to be just a description of a new place born out of a curiosity and gained a political overtones. New even after much of the earth has been explored and almost every piece on this earth has been written about it. Its popularity has not waned as can be seen by the immense viewership it has and modern media like TV and internet. See, almost written about the popularity about the travel writing is still growing through channels on travel. Through channels on about a travel, they are going to write, and also the influence about the new media has further increased and its popularity. People are going to visit doing a travel to other countries. See, this is the point. And see, travel writing has come under a serious scholarly study in the past 50 years and has become a part of cultural studies program in many universities. The travel writing going under a serious scholarly studies, and that has first from 50 years going to study about the cultural studies, a part of cultural studies in the universities, in the cultural part of the cultural studies program in many universities. True, travel writing is no longer viewed as product of some innocent curiosity or an attempt to understand line cultural objectivity. Rather, these narratives are traveling comments on how a culture gets represented by other, and in the process subtly afford some cultural values as somehow superior and universal than the others. See, the level of narratives are travel writings comments on how a culture gets represented by other people, by other countries. That, and also it became a part of cultural studies in many universities. Cultural studies programs are held in many universities. That is the history of travel writing. This is the simple. That is the just for knowing how to do a travel writing. How a travel writing, travel how do the travel? It started. That was says in this history. Okay. Now I am going to the topics. Japanese manners. See, Japanese manners. About telling to the start. Japanese manner. When George Mikes traveled to Japan countries, when he was visited to the Japan countries, at the time what he saw a Japanese mannerism that he explained in this prose. Okay, now I am started. See, a quarter of an hour in Japan will convince you that you are among exclusively well-mannered people. People who live on a hopelessly overcrowded island have to respect one another's privacy, or rather would have to if they had any privacy. See, Japan has a small island. In that small island have a overcrowded people, overcrowded populations are there. So even though that they have maintained a privacy, they have maintained a privacy about others matter. No one is interfering. That is their culture. That he has seen a well-mannered people. Where in Japan is what he saw? That he saw a well-mannered people have there in the Japanese, because he saw that they have in the overcrowded in that island overcrowded people. Even though they maintain a courtesy about their privacy. This is that. But they don't show courtesy. But they don't see. So courtesy has a double functions. Courtesy has a double function in their life. Courtesy has a double function in their life. Whose? Japanese life. It is courtesy and it is substitute privacy. Take for example the little red telephones in the streets, shop, halls, and of hotels. The instrument is situated on the table or on a counter. They have no space to spare for booths. See, for example, he has given a red telephone booth. Red telephone booth. In that, see, for example, shop, hotels, halls, are in street. They have kept a red telephone booth on their counter, because they don't have a space in that country. So in that, if he wanted to speak to other fellow about their matter, a personal matter, even though that they are talking in that on that counter, while passer, no one has interfered to listening in their matter. Like that, they are having a double courtesy functions in their life. Double courtesy functions have in their Japanese people that he saw. Okay. You conduct your most confidential business transactions, your intimate love quarrels in public and in perfect privacy. Nobody or any passerby could listen in, but nobody does. A man's telephone receiver is his castle. Castle means is his palace, his place. See, whatever the matter is going on to discuss in public booth, in public telephone, on their counter, see about their some love matter, some quarrel matter, some business matter, whatever matter going on, they discuss on a public booth. Even though the passerby, no one interfered, no one wanted to listen their privacy matter, other privacy matter. That is, they maintain a courtesy. That is, they maintain their courtesy. That is their culture. Whose culture? Japanese culture. Japanese behavior, Japanese mannerism is like that. He saw whatever he saw. Who? George Mikes, because he's from the South Americans, right? See. Next, you will of course immediately notice their mania. Mania means respect. Respect. You will of course immediately notice their mania for bowing. Everybody keeps bowing to everybody else with their ceremonies. Solemnity of a courtier with a great deal of natural and imitable grace. See, for their respect of people, especially their culture, the Japanese people culture having how they respect means with bowing with bow bowing their body to giving a respect. That is their culture. Who's the Japanese people? They won't give. See, I will tell you later. Bowing is neither less nor silly than shaking hands or kissing the cheek, but it is a quainter, more formal, more oriental. It is also infectious. See, it is the oldest traditional method to bowing each others. That is Japanese culture. But in the formal, in the more formal and more oriental, that is handshakes and kissing each other, cheek their hand, or whatever that means. That it shows it is one kind of an infections. That it become an infections according to touch their physically. See, that he wanted to tell here. So that their culture is so good, but neither they less nor more nor silly, but about their bowing. After a few hours, you start bowing yourself, but you bow too deeply or not deeply enough. You bow to the wrong man at the wrong time. You do not clasp your hands in front of you, which is bad. See, when he saw like that, the Japanese culture's respect to bowing each other, then that George Mike also started to bowing. But he doesn't know that how much to deeply bow, when or not, to whom to give a bow or not. He doesn't know. It became complicated to him. It became complicated. Because whether it's sometimes in the wrong time, wrong persons to give a respect, that it became a confusion to whom? To the writer, to the traveler. Traveler means who is traveler? George Mikes was a traveler in this prose. You will discover that Japanese have a complicated hierarchy in bowing. Who bows to whom? How deeply and how far long? One of the American states had an early tropic law which laid down that two cars met and interactions. Neither was to move before the other hand had gone. See, then when he saw that culture, Japanese culture, then it became a complicated to the traveler, to the George Mike. Why it became a complicated means then how much to deeply long bend or how much long time to their bender, that he doesn't know. It became a complicated. For example, he says that in the South African, in the North American states, have they laid down some traffic rule, some traffic rule. What is that? See, if they met each others, both drivers are met each other, and they won't go early till that other persons go to. Till that other persons have gone, they have to wait there. Like that, here their culture, whether to whom to bow, to give a respect, that it became complicated to the George Mike. Similarly, if two Japanese bow, neither is to straighten up before the other stands erect in front of him, a little complicated to us. They manage it without difficulty, and even though smallest difference in rank, standing age, social positions will be reflected in that split second. One man's bow is shorter than the others. See, to whom to bow? There is some ranking, whether to small or elders. Like that, when they meet each other, they started to bowing. Started to give a respect. Bowing means respect, mania. Giving a respect from the age wise, standing wise. Standing means positions. The position stand means positions here. Age wise, stand wise, age wise, rank wise, they wanted to bow each other among the Japanese people. Japanese family. See, and the basic rule inside the family: the wife goes to her husband's, the child goes to his father's, younger brothers to elder brothers, the sister goes to all brothers and of whatever age. They have family rules to giving respects. Wife goes to husbands, children goes to younger goes to elders, sister goes to all brothers, whether whatever the age, whether it is younger or elder, doesn't matter for the sisters. For the sister, they bow to all. Means there is no, there has some rules in the family mania, family respect. They have some rule to bow to among each other, to the elders. But sisters goes to all brothers and parents. But in the brother, they bow to elder, not in younger, not in younger. Like that, they have a rule. They have a mania in their family rules. Sorry. Yes. I saw babies carried in Japanese style on their mother's back in clever little sadness, and whenever mother bowed, baby bowed too, somewhat condescendingly from his majestic height. See, one more. See, when they are Japanese people, when they are having when their babies carrying on their back on this, when the mother bows to others, then automatically baby also bows to other. From means what it means that from that point they have started to give a culture to their family. If mother carrying to their babies on their back, while bowing to other mother, automatically the baby also bowing to other person. That it means that it shows that to giving a culture from the birth line. Then how they started to looking here how their mothers are bowing. Likewise, the children also, babies are also giving a respect to other, to elders. That is their hierarchy culture. Japanese stores employ bowing girls who stand at the top of escalators and whose only duty is to bow deeply and differently to all and sundry, the Japanese equivalent of page boys who turn revolving doors for us. See, for example, you are going to shopping, where in Japan. Then before enter of that store, means at the gate of the accelerators, there one woman stand there. Who enters in that shop, they have to give a respect to them with the bowing. A woman stand there. Where? At the door, at the gate, at the accelerator. Means while going to enter in the shopping mall, at the time they have to give a respect. A woman stand there and she has to give a respect to the customer who comes in that shop with bowing. Means deeply. That is their mannerisms. That kind of have a culture, a mannerism in that Japanese. Okay, see. On the famous and fast Tokaido line between Tokyo and Osaka. Tokaido line between the two cities. They have some cities train line, the connections of the train line in the Tokyo and Osaka. Two conductors enter the carriage in a slightly theatrical scene. They march to the middle of the coach, bow ceremoniously in both directions, and then start checking the tickets. See, between the Tokyo and Osaka, they have the railway tracking, means train connections. So the two conductors boarding in that compartment, middle of the compartment, while they are coming from the opposite directions. Both are coming the opposite direction, and then first they started to giving a respect with bowing to them. Then after they checking the ticket. That kind of they are having a culture. Means wherever you go, if you see people, elder people are then started to first give a respect with bowing. Then they do work, whatever they are having other work. That is the mannerism of Japanese. He wanted to say. In one of the parts of Nara, in one of the parts of Nara, I met a deer. Nara is a place name in that Japan. There I met a deer. There he met a deer. He bought a pack of food for him. He came up to me, looked into my eyes, and bowed deeply. It was no chance gesture. It was a proper and courteous bow. Perhaps deer are more imitative than I knew. Perhaps if they see people bowing all the time and they get into the habit too, perhaps it is something genetic and is in the blood of Japanese deer. See, when he had to meet a deer at the Nara, and he brought a pack of food for the deer. At the time when he saw that, automatically the deer see him and given a respect with bowing. Then he saw that that is the Japanese blood cultures. Because the deer also looking to the peoples how they are bowing each other. Likewise, he saw and learned himself and to giving a respect or imitating. Imitating means the same, reacting, same acting, imitating how people are doing each other among giving a respect. No, likewise the deer also giving a respect to him, and then he thought that, and then after given a respect, then snatched the food and went. Means he thought that that is the even the that is their blood culture. Even the deer blood cultures having a like that to give a respect. So whatever he saw at Nara about when he met a deer, and the deer also give a respect. Means man as well as animal also imitating about the man's culture and giving a respect like that. That is their culture. He wanted to say. I do not know, but I do know that the deer bowed to me, then jumped at me and snatched the little food and begged from my hand. After given a respect, after bowed to him and jumped there and snatched the food and snatched means jokol means taking that food, pack of food and went inside. That is whether he don't know or does know that, he does know that, do know that because that deer whether taught to him or not. Whether taught to him or not, who Japanese people, but don't know that whether that give respects and then snatched my food and went back. Like that he was saying. It means that even the man as well as animal also giving a respect. That is in their cultures. In their cultures they are giving a respect. That he wanted to highlight it here with a humorously. See, in this too, the deer was true Japanese. You can often see people bowing to each other with ceremonious serenity. At bus stops, as soon as the bus arrives, the bowing gentlemen are transferred into savages. They push each other, other side asides, trade on each other's toes and show their elbows into each other's stomachs. Because in this, the Japanese are doing two means more respect, giving a more respect. That is the true Japanese life. That is the true Japanese. Even though that he wanted to see that at the ceremony of the bus stop. When bus arrives today, while transferring into savages. Savages means domesticated under human control. Under human control, the people are pushing each other while boarding to the bus or getting down to the bus. While boarding or getting down, pushing each other and also they trade on each other's toes. Means one by one they are going like that. At that time, their elbows are beating. Elbows are pushing to their stomach. While going toes by toes, while pushing to their knees are pushing to in their stomach. Elbow knees. They are pushing. Means while their knee, elbow knees are pushing to their stomach and going ahead. That is that kind of having a culture. Whatever he saw in that Japan, when he traveled in Japan, whatever he saw about the Japanese behavior, mannerism, how they are going each other, how they are having a courtesy about on a privacy life, and also even deer also. Means that is their Japanese blood culture. That is Japanese blood cultures. How they are giving a respect among all peoples. And also that while boarding the bus, while boarding or getting down to the bus, while on their toes, one by one they are getting down or boarding to the bus. Their smith, their elbow, nose, knee are pinching to their stomach. Like that, it was having a culture. Whatever he saw, he was explained there. Next, about Japan is eating soup. Eating soup. How they are eating soup? How they are having a culture to eating a soup? That he was highlighted. See, eating soup has more dangerous than almost anything else. Eating soup has more dangerous than almost anything else. Whatever is observed, whatever he saw, a culture of Japanese about eating soup, it was a most dangerous than almost anything else he wanted to see. When eating soup, you must make a fearful noise. While eating soup, you must make a fearful noise. That is their culture. While eating soup in Japanese people, while eating their soup, they have to make a noise. How to mix? While taking soup, making sound, loud. That is fearful noise. They have to make like that a fearful. That is their culture. Whose Japanese culture? That he saw when he traveled in that Japan. It is a sign of appreciation. That is a sign of appreciation. About that is the sign of appreciation. That is the Japanese culture. Who makes while eating soup, who makes a fearful noise, that is the appreciations about their culture. This is their mannerism. They thought like that, their concept like that. See, if you don't, you hostess will think. Suppose if you don't like that, then hostess means who comes who comes to their country and they don't know, then the hostess people, their country's people, the own country's people, what they think like that. Think, what an ill-mannered lout. What an ill-mannered lout. Lout means respect. Lout means ill-mannered lout. Suppose, see, a traveler goes to their country and if they won't make a noise while eating a soup, then they feel like that, they think like that, that was an ill manner. That was an ill manner. See. But if you do, she will think, no reasonable, well brought up European makes such a disguising noise. Suppose if you do that, make a noise, even though they think like that, it was a disguising noise. Disguising noise, not good. Like that. When eating soup, he must be an ill-mannered lout who comes to their country. If they do or not do, even though they say that there was an ill man. If they do, okay, disguising. If you are not do, then say ill manner, total ill manner. Oh, see this much about the Japanese cultures. Whatever I explained today, I think I hope you have understood it. Whether if suppose you are having any doubt, because I am just going to explain, read the lines and explain there little bit. If you are having confusions while going to attend the online class, you may ask me your doubt. I will make clarify. Okay. See, then in next class I will take that traffic in Brazil. Next topic means in that lesson only one more topic. First Brazil mannerisms over, next Japan mannerisms over, and then next to traffic of Brazil. Traffic in Brazil. That I will take in next class. Okay. Thank you and